puts anybody in power? You, the people. It does not matter how much we tell you the truth, but if your choices, mothers, fathers, uncles, the lot, if your choices are for the crooks, the thieves, and all of that, we can't do anything, because we cannot shoot you. You will die and then you will not be able to vote. We cannot expel you. This is your country, it's your home. We can point out to you what is to be done. Vote for men and women you trust, you know and trust. Please, there's no other magic about it. In the various countries of the world where democracy prevails, is because the people of those countries, when they are given an opportunity to vote, we went to jail to give you the right to vote. Some of us sacrifice our brothers and sisters and so on. But ultimately, you got the right to vote. Now you vote for crooks and criminals. What should we do now? Can you give us a magic answer now? How can we make you not to vote for crooks and criminals who steal your money, who don't do a thing for you? What should we do? We continue to say to you that which you must do. And until the day comes when you wake up and you do that which we are telling you is the right thing to do, until that day comes, we are as caught up in the trap as you put us in. I thank you.
The President of African Transformation Movement, President Vuyile Sungula.
Thank you, Chair. The question about why is he arrogantly saying he's being bullied, it's because he knows he's protected. Some people in the media, instead of following the evidence, following how there are serious breaches to the Constitution, the oath of office, they would rather point this entire situation of Phala Phala to imaginary ANC factions, instead of following what the law says and how the first citizen should be the first person to abide by the law. Look what happened in Phala Phala, where there are serious transgressions to the law. Because if you are going to talk about people getting kidnapped, people getting tortured in the private farm of a president, I don't think in many first world countries or in countries whereby democracy and the rule of law and human rights, there would be a response like we have in South Africa. Instead, in South Africa, we've got former public protectors that will say what the president is not accused of is not corruption, instead of focusing on what is on the table. Ramaphosa is able to utter those words because he knows that he enjoys the protection of some NGOs, some people in the media. That is why even political parties are being vilified for doing what they're elected to do. Now, on the last question as to why did it take so long, you'll remember that in 2020, the ATM did submit a motion of no confidence, and we wanted it to be secret ballot because the principle was there in the previous administration on the method of voting for motions of no confidence. We had to go to court, fight, and even now the Speaker is refusing to abide by the principle of the method of voting being by means of secret ballot. The parties in this table were ready to support that motion. So all we're trying to say is that the parties have been operating, have been working to make sure that Ramaphosa accounts. It's only now that we are publicly, engaging the citizens as a unit. But we have been having engagements behind the scenes, and even in the meetings that Ramaphosa had with the leaders of opposition parties, we raised these issues and many other issues. It is only after we felt that some of the things that Ramaphosa is doing and saying there, it was just to rubber stamp, that some of us felt that we will not continue attending those meetings. Otherwise, the opposition parties have been attending, have been addressing these issues. Even now, I can assure you, 2 years later, even this action, people will be asking, but what did we do? Because they will say, you put through a motion without the numbers. So the general attitude of the members of society is that since the opposition parties are not in majority, they must just sit back and watch as things crumble in Parliament. However, the results, in fact, the actions have been there that opposition parties in Parliament have been acting. Thank you.
The President of the United Democratic Movement.
Thank you very much. Of all the meetings I've attended with my colleagues here, we have never talked about factions within the ANC. We have been focusing on what emerged in Phala Phala. So the story of saying, accusing us or taking advantage must be rejected outright. So having said that, you heard the Minister of Higher Education play his mandate in the SACP complex when he said that Fraser has violated the laws of this country, insinuating that the evidence he used to open the case against Cyril Ramaphosa was classified as a secret. So how can you classify a crime to be a secret thing? So just look at the caliber of the cabinet we have here. Already, Cyril Ramaphosa is already compromised. Comrade Sungula is correct to say Cyril Ramaphosa is abusing his office by protecting himself. Here is a minister who tells us that, oh no, Mr. Olomesa, what you are asking, we classified it as secret. But you don't make headlines about that. Thank you. So we are still on the right path. We deal with the case as it comes. Today focuses on Phala Phala and vote of no confidence. Of course, we will include Phala Phala. So don't use the issue of JZ. We dealt with the issue of JZ. He's no longer in the office. This one has to go because he has messed up the country. He cannot even state how that farm office was broken. How can you say, no, the matter is under investigation, I'm not going to comment? Investigating what? Don't come and play here.
From the African Christian Democratic Party, Honorable Wayne Train.
On the question of deja vu, that we've been there before, so what is different at this time? I think that this time, certainly the political parties, the opposition parties have the resolve. We have the determination to see this through. There is agreement that the president of the country must account. The president of the country must be held responsible for his actions, that he cannot hide behind some of the institutions that seek to protect him, and we are determined to see this to the end. We are also determined to involve civil society, labor, religious organizations that have the same resolve that we do, that no one in South Africa is above the law. And should they be found to be any contraventions of oath of office, contravening the laws of the country, they must be held accountable irrespective of the office that they hold. The DA question, or the devil advocate question, and why has it taken so long, and when Parliament was shut down, you've been quiet. Let me be clear that the ACTP has been vocal The ACDP has spoken out against the fact that as members of parliament, the right for members of parliament to hold cabinet to account was taken away from us during that particular period. And as such, we supported the private members' bill that came from one of the opposition parties, which sought to reverse the fact that decisions were being taken by your Corona Command Council, an unelected body. It was wrong. And so the ACDP was vocal about that, and we will continue to be vocal in holding cabinet to account. Thank you.
The Secretary General of Ngada Freedom, SG Sipositi Ngobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Now, responding to the question of why now? Why do we believe there is going to be something different? Maybe let me take that angle. Look, the results of the motions, past motions, there have been a number of them now. The results have not been the same. They have been changing, showing that at the beginning people did not believe that it was possible to hold the bull by its horns. But there was a beginning, and there was an improvement each time. Look at the last one. It was so close. The last one was so close. And therefore, I want to say there is nothing that can stop us from getting what we want. Because people have seen outside there that everything is now beginning to go amiss, go wrong. The second reason I want to give for why do we think there is going to be something different now. Look at the 2021 local government elections results. Those results showed quite clearly that people are tired outside. They are now beginning to see things that are done wrongly by the executive. I would say by government, but I would say by the ruling party, if you like. Now, I want to say people have seen that there is nothing wrong in following your heart, doing what you believe in, what you believe is correct. And that is the second reason why we think there is going to be something different now. 3, it's for the first time that the nation sees the opposition parties closing ranks like they have done now. It has never been as organized as it is today. And going forward, therefore, we must have all the confidence that everything will go right. We stand a good chance to put the country back to the right track. And lastly, I just want to make a comment which is similar to what the General said. Look, there is nothing, it's not about the ANC here. Everything is about what is right. Everything is seeing where the country is heading. And everything must be getting worried. Should we keep quiet until the country collapses? So I am saying it is not about taking chances because the ANC is finding itself in this situation it is in now. It's not about that. It is about doing the right thing and bringing South Africa back to prosperity. Thank you.
President, President of the Economic Emancipation Movement, Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema.
No, thank you very much, DP. We have been here before and we won. Don't talk like we didn't win. Don't create an impression that we've been here before and we lost. We won. We said President Zuma will not conclude his term of office. We put a motion of no confidence as the EFF. The ANC went into its caucus and resolved that members of the ANC must vote with the EFF on the motion of no confidence. It's not so long ago. It's just malobanyana. But because you want to pretend like you don't know what we're talking about, or we've been here before, what do you think this time is going to make you succeed? We won. There's an ANC caucus resolution. Remember President Zuma did a press conference a night before where we thought he's going to resign, and he said something else and said nothing. The following day, Paul Mashatile went to address the caucus and said, they came to us and said the EFF must withdraw the motion of no confidence, the ANC will put the motion of no confidence and they'll vote for it. We said no. We're going to vote on our motion of no confidence. Paul went back and told them, you're going to vote on the EFF's motion of no confidence. President Zuma, following that, he immediately resigned. So what are you talking about? Trying to create a non-existing imagination that we've been here before and we didn't win. We won. So there's nothing that we have said which did not come to pass. There's no one bullying the president. We are doing our work. We've never went into any hall and disrupted the president. We've never thrown eggs at him when he's speaking or shoes. All we did was to write letters, write questions, and we did what it is expected of us. And that's what we have to do. We have never bullied him. But he must know he will never bully us. He's a nobody. He's got no struggle credentials. We owe him nothing. If anything, he's a suspect of being a sellout and a conniver with the apartheid regime. And therefore, he will never bully us. He likes it or not, he's going to account. We're not scared of him. Neither are we scared of all the institutions that are protecting him, including the Oppenheimers. We're not scared of them. The president has violated his oath of office and has violated the laws of South Africa and the Constitution and is going to account. Whether he likes it or not, he will never bully us. We've never bullied the president. We've never done anything to the president. Numbers, colleagues, I would rather be alone, but be on the side of the truth. Why do you want me to be with the rest because I don't have numbers, even when I'm speaking the truth? The truth will always be the truth, whether I've got numbers or I don't have numbers. Do not mobilize us into your lying factions because we don't have numbers. Let us be alone with our truth. Let us see our graves with our truth. Let us die with our conscience intact and not being part of a lie that has become South Africa. So we're not part of a lie. We'll rather lose this motion of no confidence. We'll rather lose the packs that comes with Parliament. We'll rather lose our lives. But we'll never lose our souls. We'll die with our souls intact because we're telling the truth. The president was caught with muralo, stolen money. And when we grew up, we were told to and President that is the truth. So why do you want to tell us the numbers? Instead of saying to us, you are right, you are correct, even if you are alone, even if you don't have numbers, go for it. History will absolve us, like it did before. Many people come to the party very late. It takes long. So we're not worried. We're starting this thing because we're telling the truth. The truth will always prevail. The Reserve Bank has been told by the committee to respond tomorrow. If it can't, it has got 7 days to respond. If it hasn't responded in that 7 days, we will announce an appropriate action to be taken. We have not taken any law. Immediately when the matter was reported of Phala Phala, we called for the president to resign. Now the president has violated his oath of office. Now the president has never denied these allegations. We are being told that what if you are part of the factions of the ANC? Let's take Godongwana's case for instance. You're not doing anything about it. You're not reporting about it. I must not report and say Godongwana must resign for demanding happy ending, for touching a woman in an inappropriate manner in a woman's time, because if I say so, I will be confused with ANC factions. Don't tell that this man has abused a woman, because if you do so, you are part of ANC factions. That's a lie. That's living a lie. Why has there not been an outrage about a finance minister who touched a woman in an inappropriate manner and even asked for a happy ending? Is it because there is an ANC conference and therefore when there is an ANC conference we are all allowed to touch without permission? What type of sick society have we become that when there is an ANC conference the executive must never be held accountable? Whether there is an ANC conference or not, we are going to hold the executive accountable, in particular the president. The ATM has written many types of letters since this matter came out. To the president, to parliament, everywhere else. We have never wasted time. In our consideration of these matters, there is nothing ANC faction. But let me tell you something that you must go and study, because many of you report about South African politics and you know nothing about politics. RET forces of the ANC have never in jubilation celebrated Fraser, including on this allegation. They've never owned up to these allegations. ANC RET faction has never declared Fraser as a hero and used Phala Phala as a way of decampaigning the president. That's why it was very difficult to even raise it in the policy conference of the ANC, because this was not their initiative. And therefore they are asking themselves, whose agenda is Fraser driving? The answer is, Fraser is with President Mbeki in the unseating of President Ramaphosa, because President Mbeki says he's still disgruntled with finishing the term. What do you call it, Floyd? The Mahabani, Mahabani who led the ANC, left before and came back to lead the ANC again. Mbeki is longing for Mahabani situation again. And therefore, there's an allegation that Fraser is actually working with Mbeki and not the RET forces. Go and read the mood, the attitude, the demeanor, the body language of RET forces when it comes to Fraser. They've never made Fraser their champion or Phala Phala their scoring point, because this is not part of what they are. Before you talk factions, do political analysis, the balance of forces, the simple reading of dialectical materialism by Lenin, the law of dialectics. You will understand politics all the time, and you will know where we are and what informs the things that are occurring in South Africa. Thank you.
I'm a king, yes, I'm a king, I think I'm a king,